Okay, this is the racingtrades.com feature race preview for Flemington Race 6 on the 31st of the 5th. The horse in question that we're very keen on here is number 1, Pinnacles, trained by Rick or Lacey. Okay, Pinnacles, as you can see on the screen at the moment, comes into this race off the back of a 35-day freshen. Under similar conditions 3 starts ago, he finished 4th of 20, coming from off the pace in a overly weak Group 1 in Adelaide, over 1,200 metres. Now today he goes to 1,400 metres. Second up at 1,400 metres last time off the back of a freshen. He was a 3.3 length winner over Something Anything. The form lines out of that race are very, very, very strong. And the form lines were Frank Totally and Utterly next start when he ran third in the Doncaster behind Triple Honour and Casino Prince, only beaten 1.5 lengths. Now, with that in mind, second up from the freshen, he carried 56 kilos. Today he only carries 2.5 kilos more. The Alley 17 isn't of major concern. There's not a lot of speed in this race. He may go forward from that alley or he may go back, more likely to be on pace somewhere. Of the opposition, Gunfire Messiah is second up from a freshened as well and comes out of a average 60k race, winning by a length, and 2 starts ago was also a winner in similar company over Mr. Baritone by a length. There's a form reference out of Pinnacles through this race here that does suggest Pinnacles has a length and a half or 2 lengths at the weights on Gunfire Messiah through Mr. Baritone. The 3 Archie Senor was beaten without any excuses by Gunfire Messiah last start, a length and a half, and was beaten 7.9 by Pinnacles 4 starts ago, even though finishing last as a 10-to-1 shot. Dr. Nip and Tuck failed at 2 runs basically that so far this prep. There was merit in this 3.3 length 8th behind Capiro, but does need to lift on that to figure here. In the shadows, first up winner over Not a Copy. That was a fairly weak race for $54,000 open company. The wet track suited that day. Went to a listed race and was 5th, beaten 5 lengths. Well beaten. Outside chance of running the place here. Attrition, well beaten last start, no excuses. Snort mixes its form, comes out of the same race as In the Shadows. Royal Lakes, nothing to write home about. Sovereign Miss, second Amberino last start. Amberino comes through a form line once again behind Something Anything and Bird Dancer. Hard to see. Sovereign Miss lifting enough to challenge off that form line. Okie Okie, third to Rock Poster. 1.9 behind Gunfire Messiah, needs to lift. Orbit Express, a second to Gunfire Messiah, needs to lift on that form line. Forest Spy, nothing. Little Baldy, nothing. Scenic Scene comes out of a weak race at Mount Gambier, not up to this class. Moonloosh, not up to this class. At the moment, on old form, yes, maybe, not at the moment. Prospect comes out of an average race at Sale, not up to this class, as proven out of the In the Shadows race before that. Sazana comes off a weak win at Sandown on the lakeside, not up to this class. High Costolana mixes its form in much weaker. Run Luck, not really up to this class, especially coming out of that similar sale form reference. Now, at the end of the day, that leaves Pinnacles as a rather good proposition here, despite carrying top weight. That's not a major concern. Interestingly, at its last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starts now, it's had different jockeys on board, suggesting it is a pretty easy horse to ride because it does hold its form pretty well. Recall Lacey Train places his horses perfectly. Overall, it gets ticks nearly right across the board, and it's adaptable with its pace scenarios. It can come from off the pace or race on the pace with equal effect. More likely to be on the pace here with not a lot of pace in the race. 4 from 7 over the distance. Yeah, there's just enough ticks here to get overly keen about it. Anything better than 13 to 8's a good price here. Flemington